Okay, so this is a game on Oblivion Express where I am playing Zagara with Prestige 1, which I think is the most powerful prestige in the game. Um, it removes Zagara, but instead you get 50 more units, and because of the half units and stuff like that Zagara gets, you're basically, you know, you're basically really
Glad
tricked
you're
out.
here. Need a little help fulfilling a contract. Aim on shipping some
Um,
nasty tech on board these trains.
so here I'm
My job
making
is to
my
torch 'em,
drones.
but my guys are
You have
late
to
to the
wait for
party.
75 minerals,
Now,
but I
I'm
typically
thinking
get
you'd like to see
impatient and
those
start
trains
clicking
go up
early.
in smoke too.
I like to get the Overlord started before I start to get the drones out. Um, I've read builds where they want to get the drone out, the first drone out first because it's what you can afford right away. I don't think it's going to be a big deal one way or the other. Um, what's more important is that I like to make drones until I have. So you have to, for Zagara in the beginning anyway, you just have to multiply this number by 2, and that's how many drones you're going to end up having. Um, I like to build until I have about 26, so that way I can pull off and make 3 things. I need to make the spawning pool right away, and see they're still spawning as I'm doing this, so that's good. I'm ahead of the curve. Um, and then my 2 extractors. I have 2 more left in reserve, which is good. I'm going to make 2 drones here. Right from the eggs, I'm going to have them go. So now I've got 2 on each one of these, and then I've got 1 extra drone here for each one, so we're covered. I'm going to make 2 more drones, one for the expansion I'm going to make, and another one for the baneling nest that I'm going to need. Pull the pull the drones off of the crystal mine. Now I'm at 21. Everything's full. Barely took any mental energy at all to do that.
We require more Vespine gas.
There's my baneling nest. And I usually make about 4 of these and send them to immediately attack and destroy this. I don't know what happened with this. I think my ally wanted to take it. I'm not going to let him. Just peeing on something doesn't make it yours. But whatever. I'll buy him an ice cream cone by ripping up his expansion.
We require additional
I like to get 2 overlords out of the way because that'll last me the rest of my expansion phase, really. I've had allies try to take this before, so you really want to send that drone out right away. So they don't come along like little bitches and take your spot, even though you were a little bitch and took his spot. But he wasn't going to claim it. He was just going to keep pounding at it. I find it's better to build over here because if people attack this, then it's on him. And since his whole base and stuff like that is up here, it's a lot easier for him to defend his own area than it is for my guys to come all the way from down here up to here to stop him because his defenses suck. Of course, my banelings are going to devastate anything early game, so I'm not even worried about that. Send. So that's 7. 7's going to be 14, so I've got 14 out of 18 here. Plus I need 2, plus I need 3 more each. So that's going to be, I need 8 for the Vespine geysers, plus the 4, so I'm going to need 12 more. 12 more is going to come to me when I get 6.
And it is moving
So there we
quite
go.
rapidly. Our response will have to be just as swift.
And as I predicted, I need more overlords. That's fine. Now I know that by the time the train reaches about here, I'm going to have the wave start on this side to come down, but that's totally okay. My banelings and zerglings are very fast, unless they have air units. I should be able to handle it no problem. But just in case they have air units, I'll start converting my hatchery to a nest, and because he's nice enough to chrono, I'll go ahead and get my upgrades for speed. And in exchange, I will rip everything apart here. And then I'll come down here. Now I'm fighting Protoss. The only people you have to worry about in this wave, in my opinion, is the Terran. Because Terran can leap this little section here, and they can destroy half of your economy before you even plan for it. But I'm fighting Protoss. The only thing I'm really concerned about is whether or not they have air units. They don't have air units, so I'm good. The rest of this is going to be fine. upgrading to a hive, so that way I can get the cost reduction on my air. Sending 2 drones here. I'm going to back up the first one, and I'm going to make a hatchery. Then I'm going to back up it one more time, and I'm going to build 2 more. I find that the most important key phrase for Zagara is backup. Everything you do, you really have to kind of back up. You have to have reinforcements for. So I screwed up here. I didn't build these things ahead of time, and I should have. And I wanted 1 and 2, so that'll cover the crystals. 1, 2, 3, that'll cover the gas. Send them here, and because I'm clever, I'm going to cut down to here, send both of them to here, but take one of them and send them up to here. Now everything should go. The only problem is that one of these is going to get.
Here we go. Knock that train
I just
over.
have to pull 1 off of each crystal mine. There we go. You're good to go. You should be at 18. Everything's good to go. Now I'm at 90 here. I don't like being at 90. I want to not ever have to think about overlords again. So I'm just going to take the rest of my eggs and convert it to there. I noticed that my next hatchery hasn't been added to the group, so I'll add it to the group. These are going to start spawning. This is ridiculously important. Reduce the amount of Vespene gas required to morph Scourge. You're going to need to reinforce your Scourge constantly, even if they don't go air. So it's more important to get this than to get the one where it does 50% of its attack damage in a small area. I'll top off the rest of these if I can. I'll top off this if I can. And I'll get these upgrades if I can. Now everything's set up. I'm probably the strongest thing in the game, including my enemy. I'm looking at my friend. He's made 3 carriers, which is fine. Carriers is fine. Not a huge fan of it with Carax. I think that carriers are a waste of time for him.
Objective has been destroyed.
I mean, they are immortal. It just takes forever to get them, and his cannons are so good, and his other units are so good. But I'll cover that in a Carax thing. But he wants to get carriers. That's fine. Whatever. I think that, yeah. Well, we'll get to it when we get to. I don't think carriers are a waste of time. I think carriers on Carax are a waste of time. I think that carriers on Phoenix are amazing.
Metamorphosis complete.
Mostly because you've got the 1 hero unit, so you're
Our
dominating.
structure should research and create units much more quickly.
Evolution.
I'm going to go ahead and clear out this little area here, so that way I don't accidentally stumble on it. I don't like when my Scourge get killed on the way to where they have to be. By ground units that kind of suck. I'll pop that. Don't forget the banelings can't attack ground structures, so if you want a ground structure destroyed without telling all of them to, it's usually easier to just click and tell them to attack it. Now, I've conditioned my ally to where bottom is mine and top is his, so he's going to go top and take care of top. I'm going to let him, because I want him to get in the habit of staying top and holding top and reinforcing top. I don't need help bottom, and I could lend him help top, but I don't want to, because I want to go on the attack. So speaking of going on the attack, I'm going to spawn 2 more sets of drones, which is 4 drones. I'm going to take
Allies are in combat.
4 drones. I'm going to build the rest of my hatcheries. When you're pumping out stuff as fast as I can, as fast as you can, then that's about the best you can hope for, honestly. I'm going to tell them to all aggregate here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take this out, because if I spawn units from here, they're going to have to go through whatever drama he's got up here. I don't want to deal with that, so I'm just going to send them here. I'm going to spend my first set of Zerglings. I should have all my upgrades now, with the exception of these. Bind that to 7. I usually bind 7 to my upgrade. Sometimes other upgrades will be bound, like for example with what's his name?
Our foe is making their move. We must be ready.
The guy you only make 5 units altogether.
Our allies are in combat.
Rainer's nemesis. Not really nemesis. They were cool until they weren't. Anyway, for him, I like to bind his upgrade, his general upgrades to 7, but I'll bind his specific upgrades to 9 because it depends on what units I make, what upgrades I want to get. So I want to keep them out of the general purpose upgrades like attack or whatever. Now I know I have enough time to come down here, kill this, and destroy here, and that's what I'm going to do. The most important thing for Zagara, in my opinion, is backfill. So before I start my attack run, I'm going to build as many Zerglings as I can, and I will tell them all to come down here. So that way, everything that gets destroyed is already on its way to being replaced. I've only lost 9 so far, now I just lost 19.
Boost online. Our structure should now operate at a greater efficiency.
I was right about what was going on. I noticed that there's a little padiddle happening right here, but it didn't get too bad. Now I know that the waves, I'm going on my attack run because I know the waves are coming from up here. And I know that I've got time before I have anything threatening my base. My base was attacked early, not middle game. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to thrash the shit out of the enemy base. I'm going to build... I'm running out of Scourge. That's okay, because they're doing their job. The most important thing at this point while I'm attacking, the Zerglings are just going to run over everything. What I need to do is while I've got Scourge, I need to have the Scourge destroy everything air that they can. Really put them down. So that way, I don't have to worry about ground units killing the Scourge and having air units that my land can't handle. My Zerglings are almost dead, which is what was expected. If you saw, I just created a whole bunch. They're coming up here now. My goal is to kill this building, and then come back to here. Now my ally, because he's a fucking retard, is coming up here. Because he thinks that I'm going to handle everything here. And because he wants to get his score up, and because he built up units. I mean, there's positives and negative reasons for it, but at the end of the day, we aren't going to win from what's happening in the back here. So you should take care of your own shit. But I can take care of this wave here. I'm going to convert these to banelings, and I've got 48 units I can make, so I'm going to make more of everything. I didn't change my waypoint, so as you saw, these guys are running down there, but now they're running up here. And I have enough Scourge. Now I saw before that they were generating a lot of air units for invisibility, so I want my Scourge to just destroy all of that. And they do. And now, I'm the dominant force here. My ally is doing nothing. He's cleaning up the back 8, the back 9. That's fine. He could have cleared the top here, and then that would have freed me up to clear up the back 9, and I would have got this, and it would have been a better synergy. But he's slow, or he's not thinking that that's what he wanted to do. Or he was happy to let me carry the weight, whatever the reason. Yeah, he's going to be down there fast enough to be able to get the wave, which is good. But I'm not going to get his train, not because I'm being a bitch to him, but because I have the train and I have the optional coming up, and I want to be able to handle that cleanly. And he should be back in position. So I have 11 units, 9 units that I can make. I like banelings because they do a lot of damage, and because I can backfill them. But I don't like to have all banelings. I like to have a little bit of Zerglings, because banelings will eventually pop, and Zerglings are forever until you turn them into banelings. My resources are fantastic. I can generate all the units I need to. I'm going to hit 7, and I'm going to bump up the last level of units for my upgrades. Don't really need him. Happy to get him. His chrono will probably end up putting these... I'll probably have them before the optional is destroyed. Obviously, the Reavers are the most important things to destroy there. And then I'll bring my guys down here and set my waypoints down here, so that way I can get the train when it comes out. Now, if I didn't know about the timing of this map, I'd still be doing what I'm doing here. The only difference is I might not attack and destroy the base. But with Zagara, I probably would anyway. I'm just comparing it to, say, lock and load, where destroying, you actually have to go way out of your way to destroy the base in lock and load. Lock and load. So if I didn't know the timings, and I'm not trying to play on the timings, but I'm not trying to be ignorant of the timings either. First wave train starts up here, second wave train starts down here, third wave train starts here, and there's an optional here. Fourth, they both go. The fifth, only bottom. The sixth, see, my ally doesn't know that the wave is coming. So we'll just pick up some kills here.
The enemy has mobilized. We should move to intercept.
Okay, and we need a whole bunch of units. Create a whole bunch of units. I usually get about, I usually aim for between 7 and 10 Scourge eggs at a time if I'm doing what I'm doing. That's about long enough for you to hold down the R button for about a second. Half of that second is just making sure the computer's making sure that you want more than one, and then the other half of a second is how long it takes to convert the other 7 eggs to Scourge. Now, see, this Carex player didn't make the regeneration pods on there. I think that that's smart. You can do it to make your guys immortal, but you're going to have the beam anyway, unless you're playing Prestige, so you may as well just not bother. But that's the game. I should have a pretty decent score on here. Oh, I'll be taken to 751. And if I look at my stats, oh, he got his back base killing, and the trains or whatever brought him in comparison to me. That's fantastic. I created almost 2,300 units. We both, I mended a little bit more because I had my expansion out earlier. Did a little bit more damage to trains, of course, because I was playing the front half and he was playing the back half. Of course, this is going to be in my favor. I don't have the spear, but banelings and Scourge was my jam, so I'm not surprised about that other thing. All in all, I mean, he did something that's better than a lot of people I find on there. So that's how I play P1 Zagara on the trains level.